Hello, Bob Pennyfeather again. We're here. I'm going to call part 2 because we just got done with a conversation, great informative conversation I might add with Sue Dwyer, the county clerk. One of her key employees, is it key employee? Okay, key employees is Shereen Androsko. So we're going to start and we're going to talk about DMV and what the uniqueness is. And now that's, I won't say post-COVID because we're still in it, but not everything's locked down like it's been for the last year and a half. And I've got to say, and I mentioned it with the opening with talking with Sue, is your department, you have some great people there.
Yes,
that
we
are
do.
really professional. Like I say, I walked in about a month ago, and I took the ticket, and I'm sitting there like Uncle Doofus watching the TV. They had to call the number. I finally went to the window, and I'm fumbling around, and she reached right through, bop, bop, boop, boop, beep, beep, stamp this, that,
Nice.
that, took the check, and I was gone.
Yes.
I mean, it was that quick. And what a change in life
Thank
going
you.
into the DMV versus years ago. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good
The
to
team
see
is
you
great.
again.
Nice to see you,
You
too.
know,
I'm very excited to be back.
And we do all have our masks. I should say that, had it with Sue, and we have our masks. When you come into the county building where the DMV is located on the
Yes.
first floor or any place else in this building, the disclaimer, you must wear a mask. It's mandated. Okay? So, DMV,
Yeah.
you're back up and running
Yes, we are. So excited.
every day.
Every day, Monday through Friday, we're open 9 to 4:30. Right now, those are our winter hours. And you do not need an appointment.
Do not need an appointment.
No, you just have to have your mask on.
Okay, so my experience
Mm-hmm.
of about a month or so ago was to walk in, you get the ticket,
Yes.
depending on what you're looking for,
Yes.
license, registration, whatever, and then they go down through, and you go to the certain windows when
Yep, when
it's
your
up.
number's called, it tells you what
It's
counter to go to.
it's a very good system.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. It does
Can you
work.
make an appointment if you want to, or is
No.
it not? No.
No.
Okay, so
No
you just
need for
it's
an
just
appointment.
walk in. The online, doing
Yes.
something online, registration or license, or can you do all that online, or is that when you do it online, does it go to Albany and not here?
Yes, and yes. So you can do transactions online. However, we do not promote it. We want people to come into our office. We want to help them and assist them the best that we can and handle their transaction here. And why we want that is because 12.7% of those transactions stay in our county, which of course most people realize lowers your taxes. And we always want to keep your money local. The state does provide opportunity for people to do things online, registrations now and licenses. But again, we would prefer people to come in. It's easier to come into an office such as ours because then if you have questions, your questions can be answered right away. If you need forms, we have access to forms. You can download forms online, but we can also provide them for you and we can explain them to you. Because a lot of times, these forms that you look at to register a car or to renew your driver's license or obtain a license,
Right.
they're very lengthy. They're front and back.
Yep.
A lot of people have questions. So I honestly feel that one-on-one personal business is just easier business, and we do provide that.
Okay, the reason why I ask that, because we get everything in the mail,
You do.
all right, and you open it up and say, all right, I'll just fill this out and send it back.
Well, the state will tell you to do it online, but
Yeah.
we prefer you don't.
However, every time I've gone to register the vehicle, re-register the vehicle,
Yep.
or I went in for a license, I have a CDL, every time there's always been a question, or I missed something. When you said front and back,
Yes.
I'll miss something on the back that I didn't. I keep looking over here because her boss is over here. I want to make sure I don't say nothing wrong. But there's always something that they will catch
Yes.
on the other side of the glass that I didn't catch.
Yes.
Now, if I sent that in,
They would
and
return
that,
it.
and that thing right there, and it was missed, whether it be a check mark or whatever it is, they're going to return it, and that's going to take more time.
Yes.
It's going to take a couple of weeks. or maybe even longer.
It delays the process.
It delays the process of something that you want to do quickly.
Correct.
And again, the system you have downstairs. This is very important because many people, even to this day, they'll say DMV and they go, oh, God, I
True.
gotta go to the DMV. And it's not like that anymore.
No.
You walk in and they're very attentive
Yes.
immediately.
The team
It's
is
a
very
very good system, all right? And just because there's few people sitting down doesn't mean you're behind those people.
Correct.
Those people might be here to get a new registration. You might be there just to renew your license.
Right.
So it depends on the ticket that you pull.
Yes.
It doesn't mean, where years ago, you walk in and you see 20 people sitting there, go, oh, I'm 21. To me, that's very important because many
Yes.
people still have it. They have that stigma of a DMV. I don't want to sit there and wait. I don't want behind 20 people.
No. Well, sometimes people are sitting there too. They have to fill out the forms.
Yeah.
They have already been to the window.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have been assisted, and they need
Yes.
to complete some paperwork before their transaction is done altogether. So yes, they may be sitting there for other reasons. It's
So as
correct.
a customer, don't walk in and think, oh, I'm not going to be here all
Yeah,
day.
don't have any fear.
Yeah, don't have any fear. That's a big change
Yeah.
of walking in. All right, now, something else that caught my eye, caught my ear the other day. Somebody was talking about registration paper.
Registration
They're
paper.
out of paper for registrations.
Well,
Okay, I just marked it down and I abbreviated, so I don't know if I'm in left field or where I'm going with this.
no, there is actually there is some shortage of paper. So the state has communicated out to individuals who have done things online that there may be a delay for them to receive their registrations or licenses. And that is something that we can't control. But they are communicating that out there. Our office does not have a paper shortage as of right now.
There's the
So
kicker,
when you
right
come
there.
in,
That's
you
another-
will get your
That's
registration.
another great attribute right there.
Yes.
And this person brought it up, and he did it by mail. He did it online. And he
Yes.
said, come back somewhere, the message come across that there's a shortage of paper.
Yes.
I said, what are you, the hell are you talking about? He says, no, he says, that's what they told me. Now, you point out, no, there is no shortage. It's not to say can't be a shortage in the future.
Right.
But right now, here, we're fine.
Right now in our office, we have the documents.
Okay.
You come in for a registration, we're going to provide you your registration and your plates, as
Okay.
well as your temporary license document if you renew it or you get a new license permit or non-driver's ID. You will get your documents
Okay,
when you come
license,
in.
license plates,
License plates,
one. The ones that are peeling off.
yes.
I've talked to some people, and they said they turn them back in. It costs $90 or $95 to replace their plate.
There is no charge to replace your peeling plate if you just would like new plates. It doesn't matter about the number. You don't want the same number. If you are looking to have the same number, there is a charge.
If you keep the same number, there's a charge.
Yes,
Not if you want to change it.
right.
So you leave it up to the DMV to say, here's your new plates,
Yes,
regardless of what number you want. Here they are.
right. Most people will come in, you just have to fill out a form for us. It's the registration form, MV82 form, and then you have to bring in the two plates that are peeling. And we take them in and we give you a new registration and a new set of plates at no charge.
So again, you come in, DMV, and you say, my plates are peeling. Don't take the plates off first.
No.
Walk in and say, my plates are peeling. Not the dentures, but the license
Well,
plates on the
especially
car.
if they know, I think the main thing that people need to understand is if you're okay, you just have a regular license plate, regular number, it's not a special plate.
Right.
It's not significant to you.
Right.
Bring your plates in. Bring the plates into the DMV. We can provide you the form. We have you easily fill it out,
And
sign
do it
it.
right here.
And we can give you
One
new plates.
step and done.
And we even have screwdrivers that we give to people to put the plates on, take the plates off and put the plates on. Because several times in years prior, we'd have people that would come in and say, well, I have to go home and get my plates off my car first. Well, now we have tools for that. We not only have the screwdrivers, we have the Phillips head, the flat head, we have the wrench that you need sometimes because they don't have the screws that go in. So, yes.
Now they're a hardware store.
Yeah, it's
Where you
very-
going? DMV hardware store.
We try to help everybody, so it's Well, you want to minimize
You
the
mentioned
visits.
screwdriver, I says, I don't know, I know she's taking off on vodka.
Well, you don't want to have to go
Because if I
back
had your
and
job, I'd be
forth.
drinking screwdrivers, for Christ's sake, to deal with the public. No, I'm only kidding.
No, you're fine.
But,
You want to minimize the visits
so,
of them. coming.
yeah, all right, so you don't have to pay for it, but,
Right.
you know, you're gonna get a different plate, period. It's on a different number.
You will.
Now, when that happens, I've got to add a footnote that in your transponder for the throughway and that, you have to change.
If you have an easy pass.
If you have an
to
easy
change it.
pass, you're gonna have to go in, if you have the plate that's peeling, and you walk in, you don't wanna pay anything, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're correct.
They'll give you the plates, and they're gonna be an entirely different number than what you had.
Yep.
Okay, at no charge. If that happens and you go that route, you've got a transponder, because the whole throughway today is all transponder. So you have to go in online and change your plate number. Because when it scans a plate and it's not the right number, it creates a whole nother issue, okay? Do you have anything to do with the
Easy.
yeah, I mean, for
Not right
proving
now.
or backing up, or do they ever come to you and say, I got this car, but the plate doesn't match? Do they ever?
Well, we've had individuals will come into the DMV for direction, which we try to help as best we can. If they get a notice from Easy Pass,
Yeah.
because they have a question, they'll
That's
say,
what
well, I don't owe this,
it'll be
I
a-
don't have this
yeah,
car
it'll be
anymore.
a notice, they won't do it. Yeah.
Yep, and we just help them follow the directions on the back of the Easy Pass on how, basically how to, respond to what they're saying to you,
Yeah.
telling you it's your car and it really isn't your car. So we just give them some pointers to help them
Yeah.
so that they can get it taken care of.
Yeah. Very good information right there with that license
Thank you.
plates on that, really, because I've got a comment a couple of days ago, but it's happened, and you see the plates out there, they're peeling off.
Yes.
I say, what am I gonna, oh, just go down and get,
Get plates, and we'll give you the tools to take them off.
yeah, go to while you're there, go to the DMV hardware store, it's right there, that's a great deal. But, and use your local DMV is very
Yes,
important, because we talked about
please.
that before.
Yes.
Keep the money here.
Absolutely.
And more importantly is sending it in. You get that form, you send it in. If there's something wrong, that can delay the process, especially the way mail is, for another 2 weeks or more.
May I speak on that a little bit?
Sure, go right
since
ahead.
You brought that up.
Yeah.
Regarding using your local office, individuals, we understand people are busy. And we did have a drop box outside during the COVID period.
Yeah, you did.
When the county office building was actually closed. So therefore, people could drop off their transactions. They left contact information so we could get a hold of them if they, if we had questions or they were missing something. That drop box still exists. So those that do not want to come into the DMV to do person-to-person, or they are unable to, that drop box is still available. There are envelopes there, they can put the paperwork in, and as long as they provide us the communication avenues, such as email, telephone, we can contact them and we will call them, or we will email them as to what else they need, so that we're not sending that paperwork back and it's going back and forth, those types of things. So there is opportunity for that as well, besides visiting our office personally. And there is also mail, as you brought up. Individuals can mail their transactions into our office.
To here,
Yes.
Not
and
Albany, yeah.
Yes, and we will help them with to get their
even if they get
information done.
the notification, I mean, to
Yes.
jump on you there, but
Sure.
the notification from Albany, they can still take that form that they
Absolutely.
received and mail it in here.
Yes, and we ask that they do.
Okay, now the drop box,
Yes.
you can drop it in there any time of the day.
During our business hours, we ask our drop box is available outside. So our business hours, again, are 9 to 4:30.
So don't drop it in there after 4:30.
It won't be there to drop
Oh,
it
it won't
off.
be there. It's, okay. I don't know.
No, you're fine.
You say drop box, I'm thinking mailbox. you
Yes,
know.
well, we have to
But
we
you're
have
also
to
talking to somebody, I
clarify.
still look at phone booths that aren't around.
Well, we have to clarify, because there is a drop box outside all the time, which is for the treasurer's office. So, but it is labeled clearly, treasurer's office. Our drop box it more or less, it looks like a large can, and it's locked, and it does say DMV on it.
Okay.
But it's out there every day during our business hours.
During business, so it's
Yes.
not there, so at nighttime you go there, it's not gonna be out there.
No.
All right, okay.
No.
And you you check that every day?
We check it throughout the day.
Okay,
And
That's
people
good to
will
know.
surrender their plates using that drop box, you
Okay.
know, so they don't have to come in. And there's envelopes for that as well. So
Now-
there's several options for people to use our office.
okay. You say we're not the ordinary DMV here in
No.
Auburn.
No.
Can you explain that, or?
Well, a few ways in which I already have.
Okay.
Having the capability of mailing your transactions into our
Okay.
office, using a drop box.
Right.
Providing communication means for us to call you, so that if we have questions for you, you can provide us the answers or the paperwork. We also have an email for people that would like to ask questions. We do not have a public phone right now, so individuals can email us at our email, which we can provide that for you. And individuals can ask questions or email us paperwork. Can you check this over? Because I have, you know, my daughter's coming in for me. I am unable to come in. Can you check this over? Is it correct? And we will respond. Some DMVs will not do that. We also, for person to person, when people come into the office and do transactions, we will make phone calls and allow people to make phone calls on their own in the office, so that results in reducing the number of visits you may have to come into the office if you're missing something. So for an example, an insurance card, you come in, you don't have your insurance card. We will ask you, can you call your insurance company, get your vehicle insured, wait a few minutes, we'll call you back up. If you have your insurance card on your phone, we can scan it.
That's very important. That right there is that's that little tidbit information.
Yes.
Because sometimes you come in, you're focused on, you know, the registration, license, and all that, and you're not thinking about the insurance card that you don't have on you. It's in the car or home, or it should be in the car, but.
Well, some people think you have to insure the vehicle after you register it,
Yeah.
when we actually need the insurance card. So we'll allow
Yeah.
you to do that, and then your insurance company can fax it into us. So therefore, you don't have to leave the DMV to go get the information, to come back, to explain it all over again. Another area where I feel we're not ordinary is because the cashiers are great. The DMV team, and I'm not just saying this because I'm meeting with you.
No.
They're
I've experienced it.
They're a great group.
Yeah.
They know they know their stuff, and they're so good at customer service and so willing to help people, to the extent that we have people come in. Their situations are so extensive. So if you had a situation with an insurance lapse or whatnot, and you come in and you explain the whole scenario to me, and you have to go get some information so that we can help you clear this insurance lapse, we're going to give you our name, and we're going to say to you, you know what, when can you come back? Because when you come back, please ask for me, and we'll provide our name. Don't get a ticket. Just come in and ask for me. You may have to take a seat if I'm with another customer,
Right.
but we'd be happy to take you back up with me so that you don't have to come in and explain this whole scenario to somebody else, which delays the whole process.
Yeah.
So we try, once we start with a customer, we try to keep that customer until they're finished.
So you would call that customer service?
Yes,
I'm pretty quick.
customer service.
And customer service today is very difficult to get the consistency.
Very true.
So, and I have experienced that as well. So
Yes.
the things that I'm talking about, I have personally experienced one way, directly or indirectly. So that's, again, you have any issues or whatever, go to your DMV and ask the question, or
Yeah.
they'll help you out. Another thing that came up to me,
Uh-oh, I'm just kidding.
organ donation.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be that's one of your bullet points here
It
that I
is.
was sitting there going, I kind of explain that. I know what organ donation is. I mean,
Yes. Well, basically, the DMV takes part in educating people about how to become an organ donor. And actually, we also assist in people signing up to be an organ donor. The DMV has a form that individuals fill out to renew your license, get a duplicate, get an ID, a permit, non-drivers, a real ID or enhanced. And on that form now, it is a criteria that there is a question that they have to
Right,
answer. And
right.
it's whether or not you want to be an organ donor. And Sue and I both sit on the committee for the state for this, which has involved now and encompassed more DMV involvement. We
Really?
decorate the office. We have a whole recognition month, which normally is in April. We do a kickoff so that there is community awareness of what's going on. Our team wears special t-shirts, and each cashier, like I said, when people come in to do their licenses, when they go through that form, they identify the area that individuals have to answer the question for organ donation. People do not have to sign up to be an organ donor. They can skip the question, but they have to fill out that section of the form, which really has helped us increase the amount of organ donors that we have, especially in our area.
Organ donations is on the rise?
Organ donations are on the rise, yes.
I mean, a lot of people are becoming more aware, more
Yes.
sensitive to it.
They're more sensitive, and I honestly feel that we have helped that because a lot of times it was a subject that people were afraid to talk about, but now it is a subject that feels like it's in general conversation, especially at the DMV, because the state DMVs are involved with it.
And you're on the state committee for this?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Congratulate that. I mean, that's just that. See, I find that interesting. I mean,
Well, we can brag a little bit
Yeah.
about it if you want me to,
Yeah.
because our office was one of the first offices that started making a big deal out of it and decorating. One year we had hot air balloons hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
One year we had flowers all over the office and all different colors and posters. And it's a conversation during that month of organ donation awareness that each cashier will have with their customer. And it's not something to make people feel uncomfortable. It's
No.
just information.
It's a big thing today, let's
yeah.
face it.
And some people really don't feel comfortable talking about it, but there's brochures that they give out. But our DMV was actually one of the first ones that took the initiative in decorating and really making a big deal out of it. So that's how we got involved.
I have experience with that as well. I have a sister-in-law that did a lung transplant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was quite a process.
That's
And
nice.
it had to be within a matter of hours to be there. And she had to
Oh,
be in
yeah.
Philadelphia to get it done. I mean, but, you know, the short of the long is, you know, I experienced the whole process.
Yes.
And I said, so, I mean, kudos to you both
Oh, thank
for,
you.
for getting involved in something like, see, that's stuff that a lot of people don't think about, who's involved and who does
Mm-hmm.
what behind the scenes, you know? I call it the stealth program. You know, who does no, I need a kidney. Well, yeah, but who makes all this happen?
Yeah.
Well, where does it start? You know, and this is,
Well, experience actually speaks loudly too, because Sue definitely is an individual who promotes organ donation highly, and
Yeah.
when that recognition, that awareness is going on for that month, she really, really tries to ensure that there is maybe an individual that's available that has gone through organ donation,
Right.
whether donor or a recipient,
Right.
and someone who has their story, because a lot of times it does go unheard and unseen. But once you see the individual, you hear their story, it really makes people think, hey, this is an opportunity, that, there's no reason for me not to sign up,
you know.
and there is definitely a need.
Oh, there's
So,
no question about
yeah.
that. I mean, more so today. I mean, back when we were kids, you didn't think of this stuff coming teenagers. All the car accidents, God forbid, that
True.
we've experienced in our lifetime, losing people and what have you. But, when you take a look at something like this, the importance of it is
It's very important.
I mean, really, kudos to both of you again for captaining that for this area and really going after it. That's a real plus.
Well, it's for a good
That's a
cause.
real plus.
Yeah, thank you.
So, non-driver's ID, that's another one that caught my eye. And then I read into it, I go, wait a minute, where are we going with this? Because let's face it, we're getting a lot of illegal immigrants are coming through the area, and how do they have proof of their identity? And I mean, that's where my mind was going. Yours kind of put it in a little different angle.
Yes, for non-driver's ID, what we're doing is we're working with the Cayuga County Sheriff's Office in ensuring that.
Let me ask one question before
Sure.
you start, okay?
Sure.
Why would somebody need a non-driver's ID? Who would need a non-driver's ID?
Well, if you want to cash a check, provide ID to get employment, apply for a job. There are several reasons why you would need a non-driver's ID. If you're basically not only just applying for a job or employment or cashing a check, but it could be if you need to apply for any type of a benefit to help you get on your feet, or housing. Think of that. Just trying to get an apartment, or maybe get some type of funding for housing. You need to show some type of ID. Non-driver's ID are very, very important, and a lot of people feel that way.
Explaining it that way, I mean, that's, you know.
It's very important. Some people who had a driver's license choose not to drive. They always say, well, I'm here, I want to turn in my license, I don't need it anymore. And then they do nothing, and we automatically promote, well, so you would like a non-driver's ID. Well, what do I need that for? So those are the things that we tell individuals.
Yeah.
You need to have some type of
You've got to have ID with
ID,
you. Yeah.
a state ID.
What about voting?
Voting, you don't need an ID to vote, a non-driver's ID.
Say that again.
You don't really need any ID to vote.
I think the last time I went to vote, I think I had to show a license or
Oh,
something.
really?
No, you don't have to. No?
Last time I voted, they asked me for my name
Yeah.
and to verify my
And
address. And you
sign,
had,
yeah, but the verification of all that,
I had no ID.
you don't need ID.
I didn't show an ID.
I can't remember now, I'm gonna, but if they did
Mm-hmm.
need an ID for voting,
They could probably use their New York State non-driver's ID if that was a requirement, or if they put that as an option.
okay.
Yep.
So other areas why you would need a well, I guess anybody that cannot,
A lot of places will want a photo ID.
they want something.
A
Yeah,
lot
they-
of photo
yeah.
ID. And now with the real IDs and the enhanced opportunity, you can get a non-driver's ID enhanced and real as well, which the real ID allows you to get into a federal building, would allow you to fly domestically in 2023. The enhanced does that as well, but the one up on with the enhanced is that you can go over the border of Canada or Mexico with the enhanced, where you can't with the real ID. You can only use that for the federal building and the domestic
All right,
flight.
that takes all we were talking with Sue about on the passport thing. So if you do have an enhanced
Yes, non-driver's ID.
non-driver's ID that is accepted at the border, Canadian border,
Canada or Mexico, yes,
where a regular ID would not.
would not, no.
So that's another very important part of this, is that I didn't realize that. I really didn't.
Really? So
So,
see,
yeah.
non-driver's ID, a lot of people feel that you need a New York State driver's license for it to actually be a state-issued identification. It could be a non-driver's
It
ID.
could be a non-driver's ID.
Yes,
So for you people out there that don't drive, or you have parents or grandparents that don't drive, a non-licensed ID is the thing that they should have with them at all times. Just emergency issues.
well, it's very important. Like as I was stating earlier, we are working with the Cayuga County Sheriff's Office in ensuring that the individuals that are being discharged from the jail have sufficient ID to get started. So we work with them very closely, and so if individuals coming into the jail may not have the ID, have lost it, they can fill out the paperwork, and then we can work with them to get a duplicate, so that when they are discharged, they have that ID and they're ready, and they can go out there and use that for employment or to get help benefit-wise or housing-wise or things
Wow.
like that.
Yeah,
So
I
it's very
didn't-
important.
Yeah, I never thought that deep into it, really.
Yeah.
But now the topic's here that, and I seen it in your notes, I go, why would somebody need it from jail? But like
Yeah.
you say, when they go into jail, they probably come out with nothing.
It's very essential to get started, to try to get
Now,
back
do you
on
go out
track.
there before they get out and start the process?
No,
or-
actually we have someone that works within the jail that works with the individual that's staying in the jail, and we're filling out the paperwork for the
Right.
duplicate. Yep, and they get it all taken care of, and that way they get the temporary, and then usually days after that, it's mailed right to the jail for the ID, and they usually have it before they're discharged. Yep, for
Wow.
those that are able to,
Yeah.
yeah, without visiting the DMV.
And how long has that been going on?
It's been about a year.
So it
wanna
just
say a
started?
little- Yeah, it just started, and it's been very successful. And the individual I work with at the sheriff's office has been great. She's wonderful. Well, the sheriff's office is great anyways, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I just think it's a really, really nice way in which to get people started
Yeah.
when they are discharged, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, never.
very
I never
important.
think of it because I carry, now you're talking about IDs, I carry IDs, even my shot cards. Because I've had all the shots, they give you a card, and I'd carry that with me.
It's very
you know?
important, and it's $10. It's $10 for the non-driver's ID. The driver's licenses are more expensive, but yes, the
Yeah.
non-driver's ID are $10. And now the state allows the opportunity for those that may be receiving some benefits,
Yeah.
help if they provide proof of that. The non-driver's ID is at no charge. So it's
Yeah.
really, really an avenue in which people can really start getting on track without
Because you
having
need it for
that-
unemployment, you need it
Yes.
for
Yes.
Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. I mean,
Yes.
assistance
Yep.
program of any sort, you know?
So it's
So-
really hopeful, yes.
Yeah, all right.
So I
But
gave you a
any-
lot of information on why we're
That-
not an ordinary DMV.
No, I'll tell you what, this is great information and entirely different with both interviews. I mean, the information is just
Yeah.
entirely different. And is there anything we didn't cover or anything? What would make your job easier for a customer like myself walking in the door?
To not be afraid to ask questions, really.
And don't be rude, be polite.
Most people aren't. Most
Okay.
people aren't.
Well, that's good to hear.
You know, regarding the rude, I don't find people rude. I feel that it's their fear of the unknown. They don't know who to ask, what to ask.
Yeah.
And honestly, if individuals do get frustrated, which we're all human,
Right.
frustration is just is the facts of life. Frustration comes from not us specifically. It's just they're frustrated because they may have forgotten an insurance card, or they feel bad because they probably should have, reached out at the email, to find out some questions, or, had a different form. It's not that they're frustrated with us. They're just frustrated with the process.
Frustrated
sometimes.
because
But we do
they made a
use that.
mistake. Or,
Yeah, and
you know.
that's why we try to do things and help people so that when they leave, they feel good. Because my philosophy is you could provide someone the best product, you could provide someone the best price, but it's all about how you make a person feel when they leave your service, and that is customer service. So if you do a good job with your
No
customer
question.
service, they'll keep coming back. And we want people to come in and visit us.
You
We
betcha.
really do.
That's a very key point. I'm glad I asked it because that's really everything you said is exactly what you told me. Why you're so different,
Yeah, we are.
than some of the other DMVs around the state. And again, between both of your teams
Thank you.
is great information. Is there anything I missed?
I don't think so. I don't think
Sue's
so.
over there going, "Well, I'll talk to her later."
Uh-oh.
I'd like to thank you very,
Oh,
very
thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much for
you.
the
Merry
time.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Happy New
Your
Year.
staff, your family, Happy
Thank
New Year.
you. Thank you.
And thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned and got a lot of good information between both interviews with Sue and Shereen. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and thank you for watching.
Don't forget to come to the DMV
Yeah,
all the time.
Go to your DMV. And don't forget, visit the DMV hardware store.
Yeah.